Yo, Darkhawk is in a very solid place right now, and tomorrow, when Arishem drops, he's going to be even in a better place. This right here is a deck that'll allow you to go over top these Arishem lists, as well as a bunch of other lists we have right on the meta. Darkhawk is feeling very fluid. Let's go ahead and break it down. So first and foremost, we're talking about Darkhawk. If you guys do not know who Darkhawk is, he is a Series 4 card. It gets +2 power for each rock you have, or card you have in your opponent's deck. I say rock because you're going to be pumping a lot of rocks into your opponent's deck in order to keep this card massive. And with Arishem, maybe you won't have to pop as many rocks. Maybe you can change up the way you play Darkhawk, depending on how prevalent Arishem is in the meta. This card is also going to be in spotlights in 2 weeks. If you do not have him now, you have the opportunity to get him with a Beta Ray Bill and with Ajax potentially. But let's go ahead and jump right into the deck list, and then we're going to break each card down individually. So here is the deck list, my friends. It is Darkhawk's Vengeance. You may think of it as a Blinkhawk if you watched Glazer's video yesterday. But this deck list right here is kind of a standard, typical deck list. We're making sure we get Ironland in this as well, because Ironland just has all-around great hits. But as always, my friends, deck code will be down in the description below. And if you guys do enjoy the video, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you are new. Let's jump right into the card breakdown. Starting off first, we got Korg. Korg with his brand new, sound effects now, which we love. Korg saying, here's a rock. It sounds absolutely fantastic, but you're using Korg in this list to put another card into your opponent's deck to enable your Darkhawk to get more power. This also offsets the shuffle of your opponent's deck, so they may not be drawing the card they were going to draw originally. I've seen this happen with Howard the Duck. You think you're going to be drawing this next card, you get a rock thrown in your list, boom, shuffles everything up. So that's why we have Korg in this list for the disrupt and because it gives you some Darkhawk value. Next, we have Nico. Nico's another great card in this list because her spells. You can change locations. You can destroy cards. You can add another copy of a card to your hand. You can add power to a new card. Add power to Nico. Move a card to the right or turn a card into a demon. There's a lot of instances in this list. You could turn Korg into a demon. That's a +4 as well as the Rock Disrupt. You can turn a White Widow into a demon. That's also a +4 plus a Widow's Kiss to the other side of the board. So it's very flexible. It allows you to do all sorts of different things. And Nico is just one of the best tech cards, I would say, especially the best one-drop in the game. You guys can find me that in the comments down below. If you think there's a better one-drop than Nico, let me know. Next, we have a White Widow. White Widow's absolutely fantastic right now. On reveal, add a Widow's Kiss to your opponent's side of the board with -4 ongoing power. If they do not fill the lane, that is a -4 power that stays there until the end of the game, and then you probably win that location. But more often than not, people are going to be trying to fill up that lane, which I would say to you guys, you don't always have to fill up the White Widow lane. You don't have to win 3 lanes in a game. You only have to win 2 lanes. So sometimes you can just avoid that lane and just put power elsewhere, just FYI, if you guys want to do something like that. Then next, we do have Jeffrey. Jeffrey is going to be a 2/3. Jeff, the baby land shark. You can move this into any location you'd like. You can play this in any location you like. Absolutely fantastic value. Was arguably the best card in the game, the best movement card, but we have a card later on this list that people are arguing is better than Jeff right now, which is kind of crazy, but I can see why. We also have Mobius in this list, okay? There is a lot of energy cheating going around right now. There's a lot of Sasquatch, there's a lot of Ravona, there's, of course, a lot of Mockingbird. Everyone and their mother's running Mockingbird right now. So Mobius stops that, stops Sarah, stops Mr. Negative as well. Another just fantastic card to have in this list. This could be flexible, though. If you do not have Mobius, you could play something like Mystique instead, because that also can give you some Darkhawk value, especially in these Arishem matchups, giving you extra power on 2 lanes, potentially. Next, we have Rockslide. Rockslide, just like Korg, adds rocks to your opponent's hand and opponent's deck. And this one adds 2 rocks, so you get the +4 instead of just +2 with extra cards in your opponent's deck. And of course, this is 2 rocks. If 1 disrupt your draws, 2 is also going to disrupt your shuffle as well. You never know what's gonna happen there. So we love Rockslide, another great hit for Ironland. This right here is Nocturne. If you guys don't know who Nocturne is, Nocturne moves to whatever location she pleases, and she can change that location. It does not work on deep space, just to let you guys know, because the deep space, the interaction just is a little funky there. But it's another great hit for Ironland. And Nocturne, the argument for Nocturne now being a top card just like Jeff is because of the Professor X change. Because Nocturne can also move into Professor X lanes, because cards can move in and out. They just cannot be played there. That's why you're seeing this argument for Nocturne is an extra cost, but +2 power as well. So very interesting here. Great hit for Ironland. We have Miss Marvel. I like Miss Marvel in this list. Just in case you can't get really vertical, Miss Marvel allows you to get that extra 5 power as long as you have different costs cards in those lanes. And I think it's very underrated right now. Not a lot of people are playing Miss Marvel. We're playing a lot of slam stuff, but that 5 power can be really, really cheeky because it doesn't happen until you actually have 2 cards in that lane. So you can kind of sneak that end the game, and it's something your opponents probably aren't going to be thinking about because of just how less used Miss Marvel is right now. And then Iron Lad, another one of those cards we're not seeing a whole lot of. Maybe you're seeing it in some Tribunal stuff. But that's probably the only place I've seen it recently. There's so many good hits for Iron Lad in this list. So that's the main reason I'm incorporating him. Because like the only maybe dud hit you would have for Iron Lad would be a Mobius too late in the game. Or maybe a Nico too late in the game. But like other than that, you're getting a Korg, you're getting a White Widow, you're getting a Jeff, you're getting a Rock Slide, Nocturne, Miss Marvel, Darkhawk, Blink. An early Dr. Doom is a snap condition. Like, it just feels fantastic. And then, like I said, we're playing a Darkhawk list. So Darkhawk gets +2 power for all the cards your opponents have left in their deck. And you're throwing cards in this deck. You're adding some Disrupt. Darkhawk is a 5 cost now. We thought it was going to be really bad, but I honestly think he's still pretty decent as a 5 cost. It's kind of like a Devil Dino, kind of like a Ronin. You got to have the cards in the deck. And if you don't have the cards in the deck, you don't play Darkhawk. And it's as simple as that. Next, we also have Blink. So a lot of these low-end cards, like you're playing maybe a Rock Slide, maybe you're playing a Korg, maybe you're playing a Miss Marvel on curve or something. Blink would enable you to be able to get a Darkhawk or a Dr. Doom in a final turn situation. So Blink you're using to high roll, and it feels really solid. Another decent hit for your Iron Lad as well, because if you do swap the cards out, then you're also going to draw Blink, and then you can blink out your Iron Lad, and it just kind of goes back and forth and stuff, and it just feels good. If you're blinking out a Nocturne, you're either going to get a Miss Marvel, you're going to get a Darkhawk, or you're going to get a Doom. So the high rolls are there. That's why it's a lot of mid-range cards in this list. And like I said, we have Dr. Doom in this list. You're playing Miss Marvel, so you're doing a lot of horizontal power. You're using Darkhawk to have some vertical power in some lanes. But if you don't have that, you have your Dr. Doom to add 2 additional 6-cost drones, because, they're Doom bots, to other sides of the board to be able to enable your Miss Marvel. So it just feels really solid there. If you do not have some of these cards in this list, okay? Korg, I hope you guys have Korg. It's a series, I believe, 2 or 3 card. If you don't have Nico, you could do something like Nightcrawler to enable some Miss Marvel stuff as well. If you don't have White Widow, you could do something like a Shadow King. Shadow King works really well. There's not a lot, no cards in this list are really getting extra power unless Nico goes off, so Shadow King can also work for you there. If you don't have Jeff, that would be another Nightcrawler situation I was thinking of as well. You could potentially do like a Medusa or like a Maximus if you'd like. If you don't have Mobius, you could do like a Rogue, Red Guardian. Rock Slide, you should have Rock Slide. If you don't have Nocturne, you could do something like a Scarlet Witch potentially. It's not going to be the same. Definitely not, because Nocturne allows you to move and change locations, but that would be maybe the substitute there. If you don't have Miss Marvel, I would do maybe another 4-drop. Maybe you're doing something like I don't know, maybe like an Absorbing Man. Absorbing Man with the Rock Slide makes a lot of sense. Absorbing Man with Korg. Absorbing Man with White Widow would also add some value there. If you don't have Iron Lad, that's another Absorbing Man swap there for you as well. And then if you don't have Darkhawk, you pretty much don't run this list. You run something else. Maybe you run more of like a Sandman ramp, and that makes a lot more sense than a Darkhawk ramp. And then if you don't have Blink, maybe a Jubilee. Jubilee also could work in a sense that way. But those are going to be the main swaps. Now we're going to jump into some gameplay. And this will be all live right here, right now. If you guys do enjoy what you're watching, please feel free, like I said again, to like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. All right, this is going to be pretty interesting, actually. With this Space Throne interaction, we do have Nocturne in hand. So this could actually pop off for us. What do we have here on the left, though? What is this? Kitty Pride. Okay. Valid. Valid Kitty Pride. Carmitage in the middle. Do have a demon. I think we're going to play Nocturne. Nocturne right, potentially, here. That feels like the best play for us. I don't like this. That means they're probably going to Sage Carmitage. Sage Carmitage makes the most sense. Electro's not horrible. But I think it is Nocturne, far right, into potentially an Iron Lad here. Iron Lad would either be Mobius, Rock Slide, White Widow, Athena, into Kitty. Okay, I'm thinking a Goblin might be coming down here with a Kitty. So I'm going to go ahead and Nocturne into Nico Electro. This sounds crazy, but it's going to work. This sounds crazy, but it's going to be really, really solid for us. Really, really solid. Angela into Kitty. The extra energy is going to feel really solid, like I was talking about earlier. perfect rolls for us with the hub and everything too. We get the rock slide, we get a blink. We have 7 energy. We're gonna go boom. And then we're also gonna do Jeff into rock slide so we can blink here. This feels honestly like a snap moment. Yep. Perfect snap moment. Like a prime example of what we had set up over here. With the Electro into the Nico, I probably should have snapped beforehand. But we were going to be able to play a Darkhawk here, as well as potentially some others, like just crazy stuff. If we had Mobius, maybe Mobius doesn't help us as well. But White Widow would have filled here. Rock Slide would have made the Darkhawk huge, and then we would have been able to just move some stuff around. It just felt like a really, really strong situation here for us. Really, really strong situation. All right, we are into our next game over here. Our starting hand isn't crazy bad, actually, at the moment. I mean, it's not great because I normally like having a card to be able to play on curve. But we do have White Widow. White Widow will add some immediate value. If this turns into a Carmitage, this also will be awesome. We don't necessarily need Carmitage because these locations just feel a little weird. Forge, we're going to be able to get a Forge over. I'm thinking probably a Brood over here, a Brood over there. We don't have a lot of tech to go crazy, like, vertical against, like, Broodlings and stuff right here. But I think it's actually a Nocturne play because there's no Darkhawk in our hand just yet. If we do get something like a Darkhawk, we might end up playing the Rock Slide instead. Hope Summers, okay. Got you. So they don't have the Brood to start the game. But this does get a little crazy. Okay, this could either be Jeff, Nico, Korg, Mobius, or Darkhawk. If it's Darkhawk, that means we do change our game plan to incorporate some Darkhawk shenanigans. So I'm excited to see what we got over here. It's Korg. Okay.
Hey, I found a rook.
Korg goes into Nocturne, into Nova. Which means I blink out the lad, and that becomes Darkhawk. And then I have Nocturne to mess around with. This can be pretty spicy here for us. Do they play something like Icebox? Not great. Okay, they play Shaw. Shaw into Mockingbird. This becomes Darkhawk. We have the priority. We're not going to end up winning this over here. So if I do this into Miss Marvel and Korg, that's still not a lot of power. If I do this over here, so with the 4 energy, right, if they go Absorbing Man into Silver Surfer over here on the right, Shaw will get a +8 power, so Shaw will be bigger than all the other cards over here. Nocturne also will get 4 power, so this goes to 18 here on the left. This is honestly not a very good situation here for us. If I do Miss Marvel here, if this goes to 8, this goes to 16. 16 plus the Hope Summers as well gets +8. That's 24. This goes to 9, 12. And then this would be 14 plus 9. That's our best play. They haven't snapped. I think we're going to go with this. Let's see what we got over here.
I found the rook.
Absorbing Man. Killmonger. Whoa, they don't have it. Shaw gets the +2, but is it enough to win the right lane? Korg dies. It's not enough. Wow, let's freaking go. They did not have the Surfer, so the Killmonger was the only thing they could use. The Widow's Kiss saves us. Wow. That is massive. All right, we are heading into our next game over here against the Wordle God. This is going to be interesting. We do have Hala. I play Korg onto Hala. I know it's a little weird, but I think if we can have some tempo here, we should be also... Oh, Korg v. Korg. Am I playing another Darkhawk mirror over here? Okay. Not necessarily surprising, but let's see what we got over here. We do have Jeff. I'm going to play Jeff left because I'm thinking if there's a Red Guardian kind of thing, I don't really want Red Guardian to hit my card in the middle. Asteroid M is a little cheeky. ×2 into the Widow's Kiss. We're going to have an 8-powered Nico as well as Widow Kiss in the middle. This feels pretty freaking spicy. Maybe this could have been a snap moment. 8-powered Nico, by the way, does seem pretty awesome. Rock Slide, which Rock Slide then moves over here to the right location, by the way. To the right location. Iron Lad does have potential to draw a rock because I do have 4 rocks. 4 rocks in my deck right now. So it's very, very high stakes for that. It might be a move Jeff right and then Iron Lad middle because I think they're going to be playing something crazy over there on the left. We hit our own Rock Slide with Iron Lad. Oh, this is huge. This is massive. Debris. Debris clogs herself over here on the right as well. Darkhawk is going to be huge. If I do another Rock Slide, I do snap this. And we should just profit. This feels really, really good. Really, really, really good right now. Annie could mess us up, potentially. But I think we're in a super solid spot. Super, super solid. I like the tempo, and then we could just Darkhawk left. Darkhawk's going to get +8 because we're playing more rocks in here. It is definitely a snap condition. Moving the Jeff was also fairly smart for us, I feel, as well. Because they've also clogged their side of the board. If we had kept Jeff over here, we would have stayed clogged, and they would have free space over here. So this seems really, really solid for us. We lose to a potential... Something crazy over here would actually have to happen. Okay. Carnage. Okay, great play with the Carnage. Carnage into a Widow's Kiss. Okay. And then I die to a Cannonball left, and it would have to be something huge in the middle. It would have to be something huge in the middle. We have just so much tempo. Killmonger would kill us middle. Yes, Killmonger would win middle for them, but we have so much power left with a Darkhawk that this feels pretty freaking solid. It would be like Killmonger Rogue would be the perfect play for them. Killmonger Rogue. Yep. And just like that. We just had so much tempo. We snapped at the right moment. The Widow's Kiss was solid. We played the Rock Slide middle, which helped us a lot. So very, very good play there. Alrighty, we got the homie Space Wax over here. I know his name is Silky Johnson on screen, but it's the homie Space Wax. Let's see what we could do over here. We're going to do White Widow on Carmitage. We do also have some Mobius stuff, which Mobius is going to be really useful for us in this matchup, especially when I see these Mysterios go down. I think this is definitely a situation where we need Mobius. Mockingbird is free, but there is no, whatchamacallit? It's going to be a Shuri into Mockingbird if there is another Carmitage, so I have to play Mobius here. It makes the most sense for us. It does feel a little funky. I don't know necessarily where the right Mysterio is at the moment, but there's the Sasquatch, okay. Good, okay. Which means we're going to have some Mockingbird stuff. Need of a Lear is pretty decent. I'm going to do this into this, and then I also have some potential Blink value. Blink can turn into either Doom or Darkhawk. So I'm going to do that. That is Shuri. We're going to change this up. Bar Sinister gives me another 2 Nocturnes. Oh my word. And then I'm going to go Iron Lad into potentially Blink here. This feels pretty spicy, I won't lie. White Palace gives me probably a Taskmaster here. This situation is pretty crazy. We get a Red Hulk, okay. And then Bifrost. I then get a Darkhawk. Mockingbird. I do 13 powered Red Hulk, by the way. I think it is just Red Hulk. I gotta do some math, actually. I go... Blink out Iron Lad is probably actually the play here. The blinked out Iron Lad. Yeah, blink out Iron Lad here. A Taskmaster. Kitty.
Doom rules all.
Let's go. Let's freaking go. So huge. So huge. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. And if you guys did stick around to the end, I asked a question earlier when we were looking over the cards. What do you guys think is the best one drop in the game? But I appreciate you guys. Until the next video, you guys have a good one. I hope you guys get Arishem in 1 cash tomorrow. Or if you don't, use this list to counter him. But I love you guys. Tucker out.